Today, on Be Something Wonderful, proven technique, how to shift realities instantly. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Here we are, another beautiful morning in the city of Medellin, Colombia, and we have another powerful video for you today. It's based on yesterday's video where we talked about Neville Goddard's revision technique based on the law of assumption. And we talked about an example of one of you that wanted to revise your exam results, where the results showed that you failed. You wanted to show or revise it that you passed those exam results. And one of you commented on the video as well. And I think you've asked some powerful questions. And we gave some powerful answers. But I want to revisit it here because it's a great segue into today's video, into today's lesson. The question was this: once the test is revised, in other words, you're revising it so that you passed, do we see a physical certificate, diploma, or evidence of its suddenly appearing or appearance on the table? And has anyone here done that? But listen to this. I've talked about this in many ways. Remember, there is no objective 3D reality out there. There is no objective 3D physical experience outside of you. It's based on you. It's a subjective experience based on your assumptions, beliefs, and definitions of who you are in your relationship to your reality. Do you see this? So when you say once the test is revised, do we see? It's not about we, it's about you. You create your own reality. You create your world. And so whether you see a physical certificate, diploma, or evidence of it is up to you. You're the evidence. There is no physical certificate or diploma that suddenly appears or doesn't appear as an objective reality outside of you because there's nothing out there. It depends on your assumptions, your beliefs. And then you ask, has anyone done that? Where and who? It's here I am, it's you. In other words, you create the idea of anyone doing it or not doing it. It's your world, it's your reality. There's no objective reality where someone has done something or hasn't done something. You create your version of that. If you believe someone out there has done that, then you create an experience and a reality of that. In other words, there is no proof or evidence outside of you as I am awareness, as the one and only reality. There's no physical objective reality out there. They are your assumptions, beliefs, reflections, and projections of what's out there. You are the evidence. Nothing suddenly appears, the certificate, the diploma, or the table, apart from what you assume, think, and believe appears. It's your table, it's your certificate, it's your version of all of those things. It's your version of the others that either have done that or not done that. It's all you. Whether anyone else here has done that is based on your version of reality and what you assume and believe. No one is out there doing anything. And there was a couple exchanges on there, and you go, well, I'm just trying to understand what should or shouldn't happen. There's nothing that should or shouldn't happen. There's no objective truth to any of it. You're the one that decides the should and shouldn'ts. You are what happens or doesn't happen, right? And you talked about, well, I want to understand if there's a lag between what I want and what I'm seeing out there. You're the lag. You create any lag or absence of a lag or a lag. You put it all there. There's no evidence outside of you. There's no evidence of whether you shifted or didn't shift. That's what you want to understand. What's the real idea is that you're shifting in every moment. That's how you create the physical experience. Remember, you're that all that isness. You're that one changeless awareness or consciousness that's shifting in every moment to experience itself, to know itself as all that is. To know itself as that changeless reality, you create that change, but in every moment. It's always happening. You don't have to learn how to shift. You don't have to learn how to manifest. You don't have to learn how to create. In every moment, you're experiencing yourself as that all that isness. That's the nature of consciousness, to be conscious of itself. Awareness, to be aware of itself as that. So that experience is all happening within you. And I want to, so this is a great segue now into today's video. There was an interview of Carl Jung, the famous psychiatrist and psychotherapist. And the question was, do you believe in God? His answer was shocking, right? I don't need to believe. I know. There's no need to believe, I know. That needing to believe is what creates doubt. Where you are that, I am is that only in one reality. God lives within you. It's a knowing. That awareness is knowing itself. That's what knowing is. Yes, it includes facts and things that we think of with our physical mind, but it's way bigger than that. Those are just manifestations within the actual knowing or the substance of source that you are, the substance, the supply, right? You believe what you know or what you are aware of. So belief's just a manifestation of your own awareness, of your own knowing. Hear this, of your own knowing as source. You manifest belief. Either you're aware of it, know it, or not, but you are knowing itself. You are awareness itself. And belief's just an idea. So don't try to believe. Be aware and know as awareness, and as that knowing itself, as that supply, as that substance, as that source itself. As the only truth of reality, I am. I am God and there is no other. I am reality and there is no other. I am the one and only consciousness and awareness and there is no other. So, and the ancients said this, be still and know that I am God. And I talked about the spiritual teacher, Rupert Spira, who said, you know, I would have said it a different way. I would have said, know that I am God, and then do or don't do whatever you want. Right? Just know that I am God and then believe or don't believe. It's up to you. Just know it. Right? But knowing is, remember, knowing is beyond believing. It's beyond doubt. It makes belief and doubt irrelevant. Do you see it? You are a multidimensional, limitless being existing everywhere as everything all at once. As a unique, personalized, individualized essence, focused center of all that is, that one divine mind. You are it. You are all of it. You're at the center of all of it, and you are all of it, as well as everybody else. There's only one I am. There's only one reality. But your unique perspective, a unique, focused personality of God. But you're all of God at the same time. I and my Father are one, and the Father is greater than I. You're all of it at the same time, with your infinite shifts of awareness, of perspectives, of viewpoints, of vantage points, of identities, in every moment. You don't have to learn how to shift. You don't have to learn how to manifest. This is what Bashar talks about and other spiritual greats. It's you're doing it in every moment. You're creating your entire life experience in every moment. So it's just deciding who am I and where am I? In my awareness, in my knowing. That's what creates your reality. There you are, that infinite being, all of those individual identities, all of those frames of reality. You are light itself. You are consciousness and knowing itself, moving over creation, moving over those frozen frames of light that are also you, creating an experience of being source, of being that light. The lighthouse, looking with its own light. Right? This is powerful. And the ancients were pointing to the idea of infinite parallel alternative realities and identities and versions of you. This idea here, that you're living all your lives right now, past, present, and future. With this idea, with this one verse in Scripture, and Neville got it and others talk about this in John 14:2. In my Father's house, in other words, in that one divine mind, in that one reality, that one awareness, that one consciousness, are many mansions or dwelling places, are infinite perspectives or vantage points or experiences as all that is. Infinite identities of you, frames of reality, images, perceptions, thoughts, feelings, all of it in that one divine mind. Infinite experiences of your physical finite mind. In other words, your experience of shifting viewpoints and vantage points and perceptions of all that is and all that you are. Infinite identities and lives all happening right now all at once. Past, present, and future. There's no difference. All lives. There are no such thing as a past lives. Right? All your lives are happening right now. You can create the idea of that. And then the ancients go on here. If it were not so, and remember, this is from the perspective of your I am awareness of being, from Jesus. It's quoting Jesus in Scripture, which the metaphysical meaning of Jesus Christ is your I am awareness, your higher self, you as all that is, you as that individualized center of the one divine mind. If it were not so, I would have told you. Wow. In other words, if it were not the truth of reality, that in my Father's house, in that one source, in that one substance, are infinite identities or dwelling places or perspectives or versions of you or images. If it were not the truth of reality, you would know it. That's what Jesus is saying here. If it were not so, I would have told you. The second conditional in English, meaning it's nearly impossible for it not to be so. It's impossible. It is so. You would know it. Remember, I, in this example, is your I am awareness. I would have told you. You would have been aware of it. You would have known if it were not so. That's powerful. It's impossible for you to not know. That's why the wording here is very deliberate. If it were not so. Right? Using the past subjunctive in the second conditional in English. Right? Pointing to impossibility. Right? I would have told you. You would have known. It's impossible for you not to know because you are the knowing itself. But you can create the experience of not knowing because all things are possible. Right? So, but you're the knowing itself. In other words, it is so, whether you believe it or not. But what is so then? What is it that is so, or the truth? There are infinite versions of you in reality already living your dream life of massive abundance. This is what this is based on. One of you want to go, I want that massive abundance that you and others talk about. That abundant life of perfect health, of an ideal physical appearance that some of you want to make changes of that outrageous wealth of money and friends and that great love of your specific person. Everything you want to do, it is so. It is so. If it were not so, I would have told you. From Jesus in the Scripture in John 2. John 14:2, exactly. What's the secret then? What's the secret or the proven technique? That's the name of this video. To manifest, create, and have and live it all. Live all of those things that you want. What's the proven technique, Tom? I hear you asking that. Here it is. Stop trying to make it so. It is so. Know it is so. Stop trying to prove it and look for evidence out there. Stop trying to believe it. Stop looking for proof and evidence out there. Stop trying to manifest it. Stop trying to shift to it. Stop trying to shift identities and realities. Like Rupert Spira said, know that I am God and then decide whatever you want to decide. do or whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. You know now. That's powerful. Remember, you're always shifting identities and realities in every moment. Infinite realities, identities, and frames. Right? If it were not so, I would have told you. That's what Jesus said. Your I am awareness. So you don't have to make it so. That's what he's getting at. Creation is finished, as Neville Goddard and other spiritual teachers talk about. In other words, all potential exists. All your potential lives are happening right now. But they're in potential to you from this physical perspective or viewpoint that you have right now. But it all exists. You are already all that is. That's the paradox of infinity. That creation is finished, but it's also expanding at the same time. That creation's finished, but it's also the potential to be anything in any moment. And this idea of the eternal now moment. You're already all that is. Knowing yourself as the simultaneous changeless reality in being by shifting and putting space between these shifts is what we call time. By shifting in every moment, in the space between that infinite shifting is what we call time. The space between those shifts is what you call time. Right? That's powerful. So you're moving your light as the light. Remember, I am the light of the world, as Jesus said. You're that light or awareness or that knowing, that consciousness, that awareness. You're moving your own light over frozen frames of light or potential, which is all you anyway. You're moving the light over yourself, over this creation that is you. A lot of paradox today. The evidence and proof of you shifting is not out there, but rather in your own awareness, in your own knowing that it is so. If it were not so, as Jesus said, I would have told you. Wow. Very powerful. So you say, okay, Tom, but what do I do? What do I do? How do I do it? The ancients gave us the answer also in that same verse. I go to prepare a place for you in John 14:2. If it were not so, infinite mansions, infinite dwelling places in my Father's house, in source, in that great reality, I would have told you. So I go to prepare a place for you. Prepare your place. Plant that assumption or that intention of what you desire and want. Prepare the place. Plant it within that awareness of who you are, within that knowing. You, with your awareness, with your attention, right? Your awareness is expressed or manifests as your attention as that physical experience. That focus, your attention and awareness as awareness of being, as that I am awareness. Prepare a place, or in other words, plant the assumption that you are massively wealthy, massively healthy, massively free, and massively in love. That you have the perfect appearance that you've always wanted to have. Plant the assumption that you pass the exam, as in the example of passing the exam. Have your perfect desired appearance, that you're living the life of your dreams. Don't try to believe it. Don't try to argue, insist, complain, and justify. Just know and go and prepare your place. Right? We're arguing and insisting and complaining and justifying and trying to look for proof out there. Right? Defending our own limitations, arguing for our own limitations, defending our own limiting beliefs. Go and prepare your place. That's what Jesus said. Go. He always said go. Go. Walk in. You are healed as you have believed. Your faith has made you whole. Go. Even in the show, The Chosen. So let's go. Get up, pick up your mat, and walk. Just go in that knowing. That's what faith is. Faith is absolute knowing. It's not faith because you see it, because you have evidence out there. It's absolute knowing. That if I go, remember, this is the other part of John 14:2. Right? In my Father's house are many mansions or dwelling places. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself, that where I am, there you may be also. Wow. That's so powerful. I'll receive you to myself. I will be that. I will merge with that idea or assumption that I'm planting, that I'm preparing. That where I am in my awareness and knowing, I must be also. Everything else must unfold from within that knowing and awareness. And remember, the ancients, they're using will as a modal here, or the translation in English uses will as a modal verb of absolute certainty and knowing. Not the future, but the absolute certainty and knowing that I will come again. And notice, not go, but come. Because it hasn't left. You're already that reality. You're just merging with that. You're planting the assumption and then going to the knowing that it's done. There's only one I am. There's only one divine mind within which you prepare your place. In other words, you plant the assumption. Everything always works out for me. Everyone loves me. The world is always working for me. I always get perfect exam results. My specific person, not just my specific person, but everybody wants to be with me, right? Plant the assumption. I've always had outrageous wealth. I'm outrageously healthy and wealthy and free and in love. I'm whole, I'm healed, I'm complete and fulfilled. Forevermore. Plant the assumption of that outrageous abundance and success in all areas of your life. Try it. Try it. Be the proof. Plant the assumption that you're the one, that you're shifting, that you are shifting into more and more abundance in every moment. Remember, you don't have to learn how to shift. You don't have to manifest this abundance. It's already you. You're already all that is. You've already been given everything. Try this. Plant the assumption, right? Plant the assumption that, hey, yeah, everything's working for me and through me as reality. Whatever the assumption, whatever you want or desire, plant it in that one mind. In my Father's house are many mansions, infinite possibilities in that potential of all that you are. If it were not so, you wouldn't know it, but you know it. I would have told you. In other words, it's a knowing. It's not about believing. It's beyond belief. It's beyond doubt. I go to prepare a place, plant that assumption. But if you go and prepare that place, if you plant that assumption, then it is done. It must unfold as a physical experience in your reality, in your version of your own world. Receive you to myself. Where I am, there you may be also. Wow. That's the proven technique, how to shift realities instantly. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, TikTok at Be Something Wonderful, anywhere in the social media world at either Tom Kearin or Be Something Wonderful. You can find us. And also for being part of the membership channel. Just released a very powerful video, getting some emails from you guys, on the connection between gratitude and your manifestations. Really powerful. Check it out. If you're a member and you haven't seen it yet, check it out. If you're not a member and interested, check out the link below. We also have a live event coming up on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel. This is our monthly event. It's happening on December 22, 2024. It's our holiday event of the year. It's at 12 noon Pacific time, USA. And join us, guys. I'm going to be answering your questions live during the event on the chat, and also the questions you've been sending to us at info@besomethingwonderful.com. Creators, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful, while we're visiting the beautiful city of Medellin, Colombia. Until next time, see you soon.